All my stuff is acting fun this morning. Okay, we are ready. We are ready to roll now. Okay. Thank you for your patience, Nicole. I think you on here twice. I saw someone else was coming in. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good Saturday morning. We are here in our Lock the F In challenge. And so I wanted to talk to you all this morning and first also introduce myself. Like I stated, this is our first two sessions, and the first two sessions are open. We are opening these sessions to the public. So we have a private group on Zoom that has access and has full access, and well, where I'll be answering questions. I'll only be answering questions on my YouTube channel outside of the private Zoom. Okay. So those of you all who are business owners, this is the live for you. So we always are going to talk real and honest here on this page and channel because, of course, we always have people, right, who are not real business owners and who don't understand what happens in business, right? So when things happen, this is the time for you to get in front of real, legitimate professionals who have experience doing what I do. So I am Patrice L. Stewart, better known as the Realist Tax and Business Strategist, and I have that trademarked, okay? So one of the things that we're going to go over this morning is how, right? How you should actually be structured and set up for your business. I'm not going to go over structure and set up for your business. I'm actually going to go over the topic that I started yesterday on Facebook, right? And this topic has actually become a huge and popular topic right now because people get in their feelings, right? And so I want to go ahead and get straight into it. It's a big difference when you are in business. It's a big difference when you are in business as a business owner, and it's a big difference when you are in business as a hustler. All right. So, right now, yesterday I made a post about PPP loans and PPP fraud that is happening right now, and how many people, right, are unfortunately losing their jobs, okay, because of this. And so, of course, we all know a couple of years ago when the PPP loan was, correct? And how the video that I made went viral and how so many people tried to be upset and attack me, right? And attack what I was saying. And one thing I want to say is, as grown adults, there is something missing in this society of today's world, which is accountability. All right. I need people to learn that word, accountability. I need you to learn how you talk to people, how you structure things, how you do things, okay? Because when you do certain things, there is an accountability for that, all right? There's an accountability for that. And when someone holds you accountable for the actions that you have or the actions that you have done, it's not called hating. It's not called that you're gloating or you're happy that someone lost their job or someone has to pay a loan back. It's called accountability. Okay, that's the terminology. It's called being accountable for your actions. And when you do certain actions, there are certain consequences. All right. So, because this is Saturday, I like to call this Big Business Saturday. All right. So, when you are in business, I want you all to understand certain things. And I'm going to tell you this as a legitimate business owner. If you've never been here and you don't know again who I am, my name is Patrice L. Stewart. I am the realist tax and business strategist. And why is that trademark? Because I am being very real. I am being very open, very honest with you. And some of you can't handle that. All right. And I don't care because I'm going to still be here and speak and say what I'm going to say. All right. So, the whole thing with the PPP, people in Chicago, I made a post on Facebook about the people in Chicago, all right, being investigated. And several people in Chicago have lost their jobs and positions. Several people. I posted that 75 people that I know personally have lost their jobs and positions, being government workers, county workers, state workers, right? And someone made the comment, well, what business of it is yours and why are you gloating about it? I'm not gloating about it. I am being very open and real and honest to say, hey, I came on this platform trying to warn you. I came on this platform trying to warn many of you about what would happen in the consequences. And guess what? A lot of people who look like me did not know and does not understand accountability and felt that I was coming at them, felt that I should be minding my business, felt that I was not telling the truth, felt that this is not going to happen and this isn't going to do this. You know how Chicago people are. We extra. This not this and this not that and that, right? So this is not me gloating. This is me saying these are the consequences of what happens when you don't listen to real professionals, because you all love to gloat and you love to keep up the scammers. You love to pay attention to what the hood dude doing, hood girl doing, and not paying attention to the real people in the business, the real people with the license, the real people with the office, the real people with the knowledge and the experience. And we've been on here telling you year after year after year, and then you get upset and people don't know what my business went through. Let me say this, because people always want to get on here and say, well, what business of it is yours? Two, one, it's my business because I'm in financial services. Let's be clear. This is what I do. I'm a tax and business strategist. So this is my business. Okay? It's my business because this is what I do every single day. My office receives calls every single day about somebody who needs help, whether it's taxes, credit, business structure, business consulting, loans, lending. So that's my business. It's called expertise. And so those of you who think like that and ask me that, lets me know again where you're at comprehension level. You don't comprehend. And you also not smart enough, clearly, to ask me what it is my business. I do this every single day for the last 21 years. I've been in taxes, accounting, banking, industry, finance industry. Okay? Let's put that out there, right there. So that's what making my business. Two, I'm in cases. I'm on cases. I'm in rooms with attorneys, enrolled agents for people who are in investigations. So second, that's my business. Okay? I know facts. Unlike a lot of y'all who on here running your mouth off of a post and have never read an article, never read a law, never read a tax instruction in your life. Okay? That's the difference between you and me. We're not the same. Remember that. Three, the other comment that I hate to see all the time is, why am I gloating or why am I happy? One, I'm not happy. I'm smiling because I'm blessed, baby. Let's be clear. I'm smiling because I am Patrice L. Stewart. I'm smiling because I am a chosen one. I'm smiling because I come from a bloodline of civil rights leader. I'm confident. That's the difference. All right. So I'm going to smile regardless. That don't mean I'm on here happy and gloating. So again, comprehension, let's talk about it. Okay. Now, 2, I don't have to be happy and gloat because I got on here genuinely. Okay. Genuinely, whatever year that was, my video went out. Genuinely. I got on here genuinely in 21, 22, whatever year that video went viral, right? Genuinely to warn people, to explain the process of how the PPP loan worked, to tell you honestly what the scammers weren't telling you. That's the difference, right? Because when someone was charging you $5,000 to $10,000, you didn't know nothing. You didn't know what was going on. You didn't know what was put on your paperwork. You didn't know what was on your application, whether you were a real business owner or not. Because a lot of legitimate business owners still went to scammers. Let's be clear. All right. So it really doesn't matter to me if you lost your job or not. But I'm going to say it because a lot of y'all was on here real big and bad about how much money you got and how you got this and how you got that and how you got it forgiven. But you real quiet because you sitting there without a job right now. Right? So yes, I'm going to put it out there that people are losing their jobs. The same way I put it out there that people should not be applying for this loan if you are not ready, if you are not a real legitimate business, if you don't even know the facts, but you listen to Pookie and them tell you, oh, you could do this and you could do that and you could do this. And if you, as a person who calls yourself a business owner and you did not do your own due diligence, you did not do your own research, you did not come out and look at the information for yourself, then yes, hold accountability for your actions. Hold accountability for your actions because there is accountable actions, and that's what it is. People are losing Section 8. People are losing their jobs, their government job benefits. Some people, if there are people who have lost their pension if it was fraud, okay? So that is the reason why I'm getting on here, because people have this misconception that, oh, all these people got away with it. All these people ain't get away with nothing. Let's be clear. They just quiet and not telling you that. Who gonna tell you that they lost? Who gonna tell you that now they got to pay that 20 to 40K back plus interest, plus fraud penalties? And let's be clear. I also want to say this. Forgiveness does not mean forgotten. All right? Forgiveness does not mean forgotten. And what do I mean by that? For the ones who love to say, well, I got it forgiven. I got it forgiven. Guess what? They're investigating forgiven loans as well. Because if they can find out that your loan was fraud from the get-go, then it should not have been forgiven. All right? Okay? So for those of you that keep saying, oh, it's forgiven, it's forgiven. Forgiven don't mean forgotten. Learn some real business sense and how business works and how loans work, especially when you're dealing with the government. And this is why I was telling many of y'all, this ain't your lane. Stay up out of it. Because it's a whole different ball game. It's not the same as what you scammers and card crackers is used to doing. All right? It is not the same. It's a big difference when you using your social. When you're lying and saying you've made hundreds of thousands of dollars. Guess what? The government gonna check that. They're gonna run that. And like I said 3-4 years ago, it's going to take some time. And we're in 2025. And people are losing their jobs from the PPP loan. Okay? And it's called grow up and have some accountability. Because someone like me speaking about it, and if your first words is why you happy and why you gloating, you got a weak mindset, baby boy, baby girl. You have a real weak mindset when you can't hear someone telling you the truth and the facts, and you look at it as somebody gloating about you being down. I would never want someone to lose their job. I would never want someone to lose their pension. But I will say, if someone got on here who was a professional and tried to actually tell you certain things and you still did it, then that's on you. Handle the consequences. And these are some of the consequences, and that's why I'm saying them. Because again, people are not going to put out here that they down and out. Everybody love to gloat when they up. Everybody love to gloat when they up. But then when they come knocking, and when they come asking for that proof, when they come asking for those documents, when they come asking why you did not report the business that you had, a lot of you all need to read your contracts that you sign with your employer. I know you don't. You just sign the bottom line and you don't read, and that's a problem. So this day forward, any job that you get, read the contract. Actually read it if they make you sign a contract. Most federal agencies, state agencies, city agencies, county agencies have a contract agreement. You have to read it. Okay? Because in that fine print that you're signing off to agree to adhere by the rules that they are telling you. And if they find out that you did something other or different than what you agreed in your contract, those are grounds for termination. So while people in their feelings like, oh, well, it's not fair, and I don't think, it don't matter about your feelings. It don't matter about what you think. That's the problem. Business is contract agreements. Business is law, right? When y'all work for these companies, corporations, whoever you work for, you have rules, right? You can't just walk in to work whenever you want. You got to be there from 9 to 5. If you have certain tasks, they're expecting you to do those certain tasks, right? That's all a part of your contract agreement. Understand that. So when you violate that and they say, hey, you cannot have a business outside of this federal job, or if you have one, you have to let us know that you have a business. Like when I worked for the bank, I had to let the bank know that I had a business. The bank wanted to make sure that my business was not in direct competition with them. Yes, I was doing taxes and business consulting, but I'm not a bank. I can't issue credit cards. I can't issue loans. I can't open checking accounts. So I actually had to sit down with my manager and explain what my business does outside of the bank. And then once they reviewed it, then everything was cleared and okay. But I had to share with them that I have this company, P. Stewart and Associates, Inc., while I'm working for the bank. Okay? I had to disclose that. If I didn't, I could have been terminated. This is what y'all don't get. So it's not about feelings and what you feel. It's about what's in the paperwork. It's about what did you sign? Okay? So also I want to say, because people keep putting on here on Facebook, I'll say, on the post that I made on Facebook, talking about Trump and investigations. These investigations were not started under Trump. Let's be clear. These investigations were started under Biden's administration. Let's be clear. All of these investigations in these PPP, EIDL, all these government funding, paycheck protection program, right? The other one that y'all got, that the money with the employers, I can't think of it right now. It was another credit, right? All of that came in under Biden. Let's be clear. Don't blame that on Trump. That's not on him. All of that came in under Biden with the investigations. All right. And the investigations are still ongoing. FBI has been in Chicago since February 2023. That's physically in Chicago. That means they were doing the investigations a year or two before that, before they actually got boots in the ground. They actually have agents in the ground, in the office, in the state. All right. Since February of 2023 and ongoing. People are still getting let go to this day. All right. Now, the other thing with that with that, and the last thing I'm gonna say about the whole PPP thing, and then we can get into this business topic that I wanted to address with you. The other thing that I want to say is it's actually very smart for every single American to actually have a business. America is not a democracy. That's y'all, that's the false sense that y'all have that we live in a democracy, right? We don't. America is built on capitalism. America is a capitalistic society and system. Let's be clear. This is a system. And you either learn the system, you learn the laws, you learn how to use the system and take advantage of the system, right? Or you're going to always be a victim. You're going to always be complaining about this didn't happen and the man didn't do this and the man didn't do that. And this is why I got into taxes. When I learned in the financial industry how taxes work, and then I learned about business taxes, I quit worrying about individual taxes. I never got a refund anyway. I don't have kids. Most people who worried about a refund or earned income credit, all of that, people like me with no kids and businesses, we don't care about none of that, right? We want to save on the taxes. We don't want to pay a whole bunch of taxes just because we have a business. We don't want to pay a whole bunch of taxes just because we didn't have kids. Okay? So when I learned business in this country and how business taxes work, you almost would feel like it's illegal. You almost feel like, is this legal? But it's written in the IRS tax code, written in black and white. And so what I started doing was studying and analyzing and learning and educating myself, learning more and more and more and more over these last 14 years about the business tax code. And that's when everything changed. Life got greater. Life got grand, actually, when you're talking about the business tax code and when you're talking about credit. Credit and business tax code changed my entire life. Changed my entire life. Okay? I've been on this internet talking to y'all on Facebook for over 10 years. YouTube, I've only been on here since about 21, 22, right? But I have been saying this from the rooftops to understand that concept. You live in a system. The system told you to go to school, get a college education, pay 5 and 6 figures. Some of y'all have 6-figure student loans and you aren't even making 6 figures. Again, this is not a blow to you. This is reality. Again, I'm the realist tax and business strategist. So get a little back and try to stop taking everything in with your feelings. Too many of y'all be emotional and all caught up in your feelings. And feelings don't get you nowhere, baby. Feelings ruin you the most with your emotions. Running off of high emotions. Talking to people crazy off of high emotions. Emotions get you messed up all the time. Understand how to calm yourself. Understand emotional intelligence. Understand how to listen and not always want to be responsive. Understand how to be quiet and shut the fuck up. Basically. And listen instead of always wanting to just respond. Right? Because when you do have real people, because it's not that many real people on here. You got a lot of fake and phony. You got a lot of influence. You got a lot of people that want to just make some money off of you, which is why half the country is in the boat that they in. Let's be clear. It's over 2 million cases across the United States of America. This ain't no little stuff. And that's just with one loan. Okay? So when somebody on here sharing something with you, get up out your feelings all the time, because even if you did do it, then you really should be listening. Instead of asking me what business of it is mine, learn something and shut up. That's what's wrong with you. And take accountability, because we have professionals. We have professionals. You all don't talk to them. You don't listen to us. So when you decided to listen to Pookie and them, when you decided to do whatever you did and it backfired on you, don't get mad at me because I'm coming on here and telling the truth. That's what it is. Real grown men and women can be accountable for their actions. All right? Real mature grown men and women can be accountable for their actions. And we can have dialogue. All right? Now, the people that did do these loans, what are some of these different type of consequences that we are seeing? Every single person's situation is different. All right? I'm just going to say that. There is no one size fits all. Everybody got different dollar amounts. Some of you did the funding one time. Some of you did it 2 times. Some of you did multiple applications. Some people have 3 and 4 businesses and they got a loan off of each business. So if you got 4 businesses and you got $40K off each business, then you add it up. Now, I'm going to share a couple of facts. Okay? A couple of facts is, like I said, forgiveness does not mean forgotten. So if they find out that your loan was forgiven, and I'm going to stick right now with just the PPP. If they find out that your loan was actually forgiven and it was fraud, then you are now required to pay the loans back and report that income on your tax return. Normally, we don't report business income on our tax return because business loans are not income. It's a loan. You have to pay it back. Now, what we can do on the tax return is write off the interest that we paid into it. But if I got $100,000 loan, I don't have to claim that $100,000 as income on my business tax return normally. Now, for those of you that did these PPP, which was the Paycheck Protection Program, what is the other freaking loan that was for the employers to get the 20,000 up to 25,000 per quarter when you paid an employee? I forgot that one. It was employer something credit. A lot of people was doing that. And I got on here again to tell y'all. Some of y'all really just be slow. I'm gonna say it like it is. Some of y'all just be slow. And you allow people to tell you whatever and do whatever and you be okay with it. And this is part of the consequences. Now, I'm not talking to you if you are a real legitimate business owner and you have paperwork and documentation. Now, if you went to somebody who was a scammer, then that's on you too. And be accountable for that as well. Right? Because that's the difference. You all need to know and understand who to work with and who not to work with. You need to know and understand who is a professional and who is not a professional. And too many times you like to mix the two. Thank you, Dwayne. Employment tax credit. It's something else. It's not employment tax credit. That's another short term, but it's a formal term for it. But thank you. Right. It was dealing with the employer. Right. So the employers got a credit if they kept you on and hired you. I could look it up, but I'm on one right now. I'm not about to go all searching on the internet, and it's free, right? So you get what I'm saying, though. It was more than just the PPP. It was the EIDL, it was the PPP, and then it was the employer program where they were able to get a credit for keeping people on as employees if they actually paid W-2 wages. And a lot of people were calling my office, and I was telling you, if you are self-employed, that was not for you. Self-employed on the Schedule C, y'all don't pay W-2 wages, right? If you were paying somebody a 1099, That's not W-2 wages. The thing, and I hope that a lot of people learn from all of this, is whether you did the loan or not, I hope that you learn to start respecting real professionals again. I hope that this has brought some awareness to you all for allowing social media to bring on these fake influencers and these scammers and put the glitz and the gold in y'all face, and then y'all fall for it every time. I hope that this gives you some type of clarity to understand who to really be dealing with. Because I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it again, like I said it last time. If somebody is doing hair, if somebody is a scammer, if somebody is in the streets and they telling you about financial stuff, do that make sense to you? That's like me being on here talking about taxes and business and credit, but then I'm come talking to you about car cracking. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, and then in the same breath, y'all want to put and say, oh, y'all business owners ain't this and y'all business owners ain't that. No, baby, you went to a scammer. You didn't go to a business owner. You didn't go to a professional who has expertise. You didn't look them up and Google them and see if they have a website, a business, if they have reviews, if they have history. You didn't do none of that. You let your cousin put you on to this person who hooked them up, to this person who hooked them up, and hookups have gotten a lot of Black people messed up. I'ma say that. And then y'all glorify these scammers. These same scammers that robbed you and stole from you. You go in the same neighborhood and glorify them. And this is why nobody comes to save for you. This is why nobody pours into you. This is why I got off the internet 2 years ago. Because I'm sick of the hood mentality. I'm sick of the hood people. I'm sick of y'all glorifying it. I deal with professionals. I deal with real business owners and entrepreneurs. I deal with real people who doing real things now. I'm no longer worried about the hood and what y'all gonna do. I don't give a damn about y'all no more. That's the honest to God truth. Because your mindset is whack and weak. And you have no accountability. None. Everything is you hating, you this, you that. Okay. Professionals are tired of getting on here talking to you and warning you. And then you go and do the stupid thing. And then you want to come to us to fix it. That's another reason why I'm talking about it. Why the little ugly boy on my Facebook talking about what business of it is mine. It's my business because they call in my office. It's my business because my office gets calls weekly about somebody losing their job, losing something. Yeah, Toya, I understand why you gave up. We done with them. I don't deal with nigga mindset. I don't. I don't even hardly have earned income credit clients. I got a few, and they're still real working class professionals. I don't deal with the hood. Been stopped, which is why a lot of them don't like me either. You can grow up in a location and you don't have to be a product of your environment. I want you to know that. I grew up in Terrortown, 2 T's, East Side, crazy. Love my neighborhood, love Chicago. But I do not love the mentality of the people in that area. I do not love the mentality of the people. No, I don't. I'm not a product of my environment. Thankfully, I had people and family in my life that allowed me to see bigger and better and showed me different ways of life. So I didn't get stuck in my neighborhood. I didn't get stuck in that mentality and that mindset. I didn't get stuck in glorifying drug dealers and scammers. That's not respectable to me. When you hurting the people that look like you. One thing that is one thing about me is can't nobody on this green earth ever say Patrice did nothing to them. That Patrice ever took no money from them. If I ain't work with you or I removed you as a client, you got a refund. Can't nobody on this green earth say I owe them nothing. My name's solid around here. Everybody can't say that. Can't nobody say Patrice L. Stewart owe them nothing. Now, you may be waiting on some taxes, because I do got clients that's waiting on me to file their taxes. But if you pay me, your taxes is done. If you waiting on me to take my fee out of your refund, you waiting, because you haven't paid me $1 up front. But anybody who has paid me for services, baby, everybody can't say that. So when I get on here and speak, I get on here and speak freely and real and genuinely, because I can. And I can stand on that. That's why I get the hate that I do, which I don't care. Because somebody who lacking in life, who don't got nothing going in life, who all you got is Gucci and gold on, and if you think that means something, you really have nothing. Right? That's what I'm on here to tell you too. You got a bag, but you ain't got 5,000 in that bag, you ain't winning. You done spent that PPP money, we know, because I talked about that in the video, how y'all was in the lines at Louis and Gucci, right? And today got nothing to show for it. But I'm the hater. No, it's called accountability, boo. That's what it's called. It's called accountability. It's called when you do things, oh, yeah, it's some consequences for it. So I'm going to say that once again for the ones who love to say, oh, my loan forgiven. If your loan was fraudulent, you are going to pay that back, baby. And you're going to claim it on your taxes. And if you don't claim it on your taxes, you'll find out what happened to. So moving forward in 2026, while we in this last quarter, and while I'm on here talking and sharing some stuff, before you go into 2026 doing goofy shit, listening to scammers, all right, I'm on here once again, having a conversation for the slow ones in the back. Y'all know so much and don't know shit. That's the problem. Always opening your mouth to talk and don't know nothing. If your news come from Facebook, your news come from a post, your news come from the shade room, grow up. You're a child. You're not a grown adult. If you've never read an article, you don't even know what the IRS page look like, grow up and shut up talking to me. Because what you don't know is me getting on here back in that time frame and that video going viral and reaching over 2 million people. My business was affected. I was getting calls and harassed from y'all scammers who was mad that I was telling the truth because they was missing money. Because some of y'all cut the loan off, or some of y'all didn't want to do the deal anymore after you heard me explain the facts. That's the difference. People with integrity, people with morals, people with character don't have to lie to get your fucking money. And I said I wasn't even going to cuss today. But today, you may hear a couple of F-bombs. It is what it is. People of character and morals and integrity do not have to lie to get your money. Every single business owner that came to me, I personally told them, you don't have to pay nobody. This is a 5-minute application. You can do it on your own. I didn't charge none of my clients. What am I charging you for to do a 5-minute application? But what I did do is host classes and workshops for you to see the application and fill it out on your own. I did not tell you what to put on the app. I never ever said, put this dollar amount, do this, do that. That's not what a real professional does. Every single one of you have a different business, a different structure. So your numbers are not going to be the same as mine. Your information is not going to be the same as mine. And anybody on this internet talking to you like that, which we see, because there's some scammers and some information that's been coming out about some of y'all favorite scammers and how they owe American Express, how they was out here on video telling y'all how to fill out an application and lie and say you made $250,000. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. Also, real legitimate financial professionals, we don't have mug shots. I don't have no mug shots. Like I said, Google me. You won't find no mug shot. But these are your leaders. These are the type of people that you follow. These are the type of people that you listening to. And those same people have gotten a lot of y'all walking down a prison hallway right now. A lot of you walking down your job hallway, walking out the door with a box in your hand. So no, this ain't gloating. This is being real and honest. And it's called accountability. It's called when the government decides to investigate, these are some of the things that are happening. So if you haven't heard anything, then I just want you to be clear and aware of some other cases that have happened and what this looks like. So again, what was it? If your loan was forgiven and they find out that it was fraud, it will be unforgiven. And then you're going to owe all the money back, plus penalty, plus interest, plus fraud on top of that. It's a whole nother other interest payment that you're going to pay for fraud. Okay? While you done paid somebody 5 to 10 bands, now you owing 50. Stuck looking goofy. Don't get mad at me for telling the truth. For having to hit you with some reality that maybe in the future you'll make better decisions. And again, this is not to people who have legitimate businesses. But I do want to say this. If you have a W-2 job and an employer, check your contract. Go and review it. And if you have a legitimate business, share that with them and tell them. Because this is how people are also losing their jobs. Not necessarily that you did fraud, because you may have had a legitimate business. They are also catching city, county, and state workers because you all did not disclose that you have a business. And in that contract that you sign, it says that you have to do that. And this is why I said you have to read before you are signing these contract agreements. Don't just go straight to the bottom and sign it. Actually read these contracts. Even on these websites, when you signing up for stuff, read the paperwork that you're signing. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares about your feelings. Nobody cares that, oh, this isn't fair, or it's no such thing as fair in business and contracts. This is what y'all don't get. There's no such thing as fair. It's business. Right? And then if you don't have a contract or an agreement, then that's different. But if you know you work for a federal, state, city, county agency, go read your contract. Go pull it up this weekend and thoroughly read through it. And if something is in there that affects you and that you see that's a red flag, address it. Because not addressing it, I'm telling you, they have been investigating people in Chicago. Now, everybody across the United States is under investigation. Let's be clear. This ain't just in Chicago. I literally talked to people in all 50 states during this time frame. All 50 states. All 50 states during this time frame when all this stuff happened. When people was calling my office after that video, I talked to people in every single state in America. And this is not only to Black people. Every single race and creed did this loan. Let's be clear. Every single race and creed did these loans. I'm not talking to just Black people. Now, of course, that's my community. That's what my race is. So that's who I'm talking to more than ever. But let's be clear. Every single community did this. Every single one. I talked to Hispanic, Asian, Haitian, Indian, Native American, Black, orange, green, brown, baby. Every single one. Let's be clear. So I've already decided the content that I'm about to push out, we're going to start talking more about these financial crimes. We're going to start talking more about these tax laws. We're going to start talking more about this business, right? Because y'all really have no clue the system that we live in. Most of you are blinded. Most of you live in a box. Most of you are still in the matrix, as we call it. Those of us who are free, those of us who are clear and understand systems, we call y'all living in the matrix. Most of y'all are still stuck and living in the matrix. You have no real clue what this whole system and country has been doing and is doing because you all up in your feelings. You all up in feelings and don't know no facts. Facts over feelings. But when people decided to start calling and harassing my office, reporting videos and content because they could not get the money from some of you all that they wanted to scam, that was a big issue for me. That was a big issue for me. So when I get on here and I address and I say certain things, if it don't apply, let it fly. The only people mad about me posting is somebody who did it or somebody who lost their job. And if you lost your job, I'm sorry. I'm not here gloating that you lost your job. That's not what I'm doing. But there were several people, more than a few, okay? Probably a couple of hundred who had a lot to say about me exposing what was going on with that and how those applications were being processed. So when you see a post or you see something, you thinking that from your lens, from your little emotional view, because you don't have nothing, because you don't have a business that you built from the ground up, because you're not in financial services. You wouldn't understand where I'm coming from. I don't expect you to. I really don't care that you understand or not. But I will address you when you try to say that I'm gloating about somebody losing their job, because I'm far from doing that. But I will say I'm talking to those who I did warn, and you called me crazy. You called me out my name. You told me to shut the F up. You did. I'm talking to those people. So like I said, if it apply, then let the shoe fit. If it don't, then let it fly. Simple as that. Do you have any questions or concerns? Nicole, you are in the private community and group. I do have a whole group and challenge. I do have a whole private community because I got off of the internet. I'm not on the internet like this anymore, talking to y'all for free. talking to y'all who love the scammers. I'm in private community. So Nicole, you are in private community. If you have anybody else that's logged in right now in our Zoom chat, you all will be first if you have any questions that you would like me to address or say anything. You're also already here in the Lock the FN challenge. I am having a Lock the FN challenge these next 4 weeks for the entire month of October. I am on coaching every single week in this challenge. I am empowering you mentally. I am empowering you financially. I am empowering you about personal and business credit. I have lenders that will be coming on this month in October to talk to you about lending and opportunities to get funding for your legal business. That's what I do, right? I've been helping my community for a very long time, and my community still is in the same shambles that they're in because my community loves to glorify the bullshit. So we're no longer worried about my community, right? I'm not worried about Black people in the hood anymore. I'm worried about Black professionals, Black business owners, Black people who want to grow. Not even just Black. Let me not say that, because Black is not it alone. No business sustains on one race providing them. And I teach y'all that in business. Black people have to just stop depending on only Black people to work with them, especially if you're in financial services. Okay? Because every race and creed needs financial services. Let me say that. As a business owner, you're in business to be in business. Now, if your business is specifically something for Black people, cool. But other than that, if you are a business owner and you see yourself globally, you see yourself nationwide, then market to the entire people. Market to America. That's what you do. Because that was one of my, I'm not going to say it was a downfall. I don't want to say that. That was one of the things that I would change. I'm going to say that. Being an entrepreneur for over 16 years now, that's one of the things that I would change. In the beginning, I was heavily with Black. Not no more. Not no more. Now, when it comes to business, right? I do believe we still should be in community and building and things like that, but everybody ain't for it. And that's just what it is. This not for everybody. This, you have to be on a different level and mindset. If you still in a hood mentality and mindset, you still in a scammer mindset, you owe people money, you don't have no integrity, you don't have morals, you don't have character, then you're not it. You're not the type of person that I want to work with. You're not the type of client that I want to work with. I have turned people away with that type of attitude, right? When people come in your office and want a discount, but they got on Gucci and gold, walk them people up out of your office. Walk them people up out of your store. Stop negotiating and talking to people and allowing people to down talk you for your prices. Your price is your price. Okay? You said what you said. Because best believe when they went to the Louis Vuitton store, they did not haggle them down. When they paid that Chanel bag, shoes, belt that they love to walk around with like they doing something, let them do that with them. They don't. So don't allow them to do it with you. You in business to make money. You in business to help people, whatever business that you're doing. You're not in business to negotiate with weak-minded people. And only people who do that are people who have a less than mentality mindset. Because my entrepreneur friends, I don't haggle them. I actually pay them more. Whatever their price is, I usually give them a tip and pay them more than what they even tried to charge me. That's what real people do who care about you and your business. People who love you and care about you, not trying to knock you down on your prices. Right? And that's what I'm talking about. That mentality is the same mentality that will go down to Gucci and Gold and spend it and pay it with no problem. That's not your client. That's not your customer. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no and turn them away. Your family and friends are not your customer. That's again the false sense that a lot of you all, when I start talking to y'all in business, that's the false sense. You in your feelings because somebody ain't support you. That's because they not your customer, baby. That's not your customer base. You'll learn that in my Lock the FN challenge. We'll go over what a client avatar should look like. You should know and understand who your customer base is. You should know and understand who you're talking to, right? If you don't, you might want to get in this 4-week challenge. You might want to lock the FN. So business owners, this is the fourth quarter. A lot of businesses lose and drop sales in the fourth quarter. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Did you know that Black Friday is the largest shopping season in the United States of America? People are actually gathering their money right now and saving and creating savings clubs and savings pots and putting money under the mattress and in the shoebox right now to buy and shop for Black Friday and Cyber Sale Monday. Are you ready? Do you have a plan? Do you have a game plan? Do you have an action plan? Do you have a sales offer? Do you have a sales funnel? A lot of websites are obsolete. Some of y'all spend all this money on a pretty logo and a website and you don't have nobody coming to visit. You forgot you got to drive traffic to that website. So the website and the logo is not the first thing that you always need to be paying attention to, because some of you have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for a website and a logo and you have made zero in sales. Zero in sales. Does that make sense to you? If you call me for a consultation and I say, okay, you say, I have an LLC, Patrice. I got my paperwork. I got my EIN and my LLC. And I say, okay, where's your profit and loss statement? Some of you don't know what I mean when I say, where's your profit and loss statement? If you don't know what a profit and loss statement is, you're not a business owner. You're not in business, baby. You hustling. And as I always say, that's okay too. That's okay too to have a side hustle. Nothing wrong with that. But stop calling yourself a business owner. Start saying again, you side hustling. Oh, this is just something I do on the side to make a little money. Say that. Because you're not a business owner if you have made zero sales, if you don't know and understand business, if you do not know financial statements like a profit and loss report, a balance sheet, an income statement. If you don't know none of that, you're not a business. Because guess what? In the eyes of the IRS, a small business makes up to $500 million. Small Business Administration, SBA. If you go on SBA website right now, a small business in the United States of America is a company that makes up to $500 million. That's small business to America. 500 million. Some of y'all think a million is money. A million ain't no money. Learn. And if you don't know and learn, listen to professionals. $500 million is what a small business is considered in the United States of America. If you are under the small business tax law, small business administration, all of those apply to people who make up to 500 million. So if you over here side hustling a couple of little plates in your room or in your house on the weekend, baby, you're at the very, very bottom of that small business number. Okay? That's why they call small mom and pop shops. But a lot of small mom and pop shops run this country. Let's be clear. It's the reason why it's the top 1 to 10%. It's a reason for that. It's a reason for the top 1 to 10%, but it's also a reason why 95% of America is average and is stuck in the matrix because of this system. And people like me, you don't see us on here. The people who I know that's why they was like, Patrice, why you on there? Because they don't listen. And this is why. Because after 10 and 15 years of beating and coming on and talking and trying to empower people and be nice in the beginning, now this is what you get. And then you in your feelings about it. But you never said thank you to the people who tried to lead the way for the last 10 to 15 years and show you something. You only want to play victim when it don't work out for you, or when somebody not saying what you want to hear and how you want to hear it. I'm not here to be nice and pretty and say it all sweet for you. I'm here to be real and honest, because this is what it is. This is what real business look like. So now those of you who have never been in business before, don't know what you're doing, allow somebody else to do an application for you. Now these are the consequences, and now you want to play victim. No. Be accountable. What time is it? Okay, it's 1 hour. I'm not about to be on here past another 15 minutes. I'm only answering from my private community, and then I may answer a couple of people on YouTube. Good morning, Charles. Good morning, Metador. Will there be a class to learn everything you've learned in business taxes? No, there will not be a class to learn everything that I've learned in business taxes. That's impossible for you to have a class to learn everything that I've learned in business taxes when I've learned business taxes for over the last 16 years. So no, you will never learn everything that I know. If so, I got money for you. I have classes and we have certain things set up, but again, that doesn't even make sense though. You'll never learn everything that I know. I have clients that I work with for strategy, for planning, for consulting. We work with you to build your business, grow your business, set your structure up, your membership, all that stuff. But as far as learning what I know, you'll never know that. It's impossible for you to learn 16 years worth of stuff in a class, in a 4-week class. It ain't gonna happen. Now, I can educate you on some strategies, give you some summaries of some stuff, right? And that's the goal, is to set you up, to help get you prepared to be better, right? To help get you prepared to make some money for this upcoming fourth quarter, for you to be set up for Black Friday, for you to understand business and personal credit, right? But we're not going heavy into taxes in this 4-week challenge, because the challenge is more about reprogramming your mindset, learning credit, because credit is where it all starts. Once you fix your credit, you change your whole life. Then once you set the business up and it's structured properly, then now you can go and get the funding and you can grow and you can buy land, property, start more businesses. Your whole life change after just those 2 steps. So that's what we're focusing on in 4 weeks. I was approved for both PPP and EIDL, but I never received the funds because scammers took it. So you waited too long to accept the approval then, Dwayne. That's what happened. Because a lot of people keep saying that. And if you all were hesitant in the beginning because of the scammers, and a lot of people keep saying that, well, I didn't apply because so many scammers was doing it. I didn't know it really was for me. Well, you probably didn't know me and didn't see my page, because I literally was on here damn near every day screaming to the rooftops. I wasn't on YouTube. I was on Facebook more. I was on Facebook and TikTok then. Was I on TikTok really? No, I wasn't even on TikTok. I was on Facebook. I've been on Facebook over 10 years. And that's the community who I'm really talking to. When I really get rolling my eyes in my head, it's really that community. Because Facebook is a community of people who love to run their mouth, have always in their feelings, and don't know shit. Like that's just what it is. Facebook is the least productive platform. It is. Everybody that is on other platforms, YouTube, this is a platform for you to learn. You're on YouTube because you're here to learn. You're watching long form content. You're watching hours of video because you want to learn. You want to change your life. Same way with people on TikTok. People want to be educated. People want to learn. People on Facebook is that community of people that you know, that you grew up with, right? Or people that follow you. Because I got 26,000 followers on Facebook, but most of them came from the PPP video, right? So these aren't people that really know me. But the people that's on my friends list, right, it's people that know me. And people hate to see you talk to them and get them accountability. Grown people that's still in the hood, still clubbing every weekend, they hate when I get on here, right? So that's why Facebook is my least platform. I don't make no money off people on Facebook. I don't care about people on Facebook and how they feel and how they think, to be honest, right? Because I see, and all of us talk about it. Those of us that are on social media, all of us say the same thing. Facebook is the least platform with the weakest mindset of people. Because all you see all day is gossip and feelings and posts about this and that, and nobody do no real action. People on YouTube and TikTok have taken action, have taken my classes, have taken courses, have changed their life. I have real legit feedback from people, emails, comments saying how they bought a house, how they fixed their credit, how they started a business, how they got EIDL money, how they got PPP money and used it to build and be better. People are growing in my world and community who take advantage of the information. People who mad are on Facebook running their mouth, talking about why you worried about it. Right. That's that mentality. Right? That's that mentality. And like I said, I am the realist tax and business strategist. Don't nobody control me or my mouth. I don't work for nobody. I work for self. So when I get on here, I'm being real and honest. I don't need your money. I ain't lying to you to kick it. I don't got to put on a face of Maybelline and 20 pounds of makeup and put on a lace front wig to be on here in no suit. I ain't got to do none of that. I am who I am. I'm chosen. I'm a chosen one. I'm confident in who I am. I have a loud voice. I'm loud. I'm strong. I'm confident. This is how I talk. I'm not about to get on here and change because I'm a business owner. You get what you see. I'm not fronting for nobody. But I'm also very smart, very educated, very knowledgeable in a lot of different topics. Not just taxes, not just business, because I built one from the ground up, from an idea of a mustard seed. And now here I am 16 years later, let go from corporate America in March of 2013 and been a full 1,000% entrepreneur for the last 12 years. Yeah, I get on here, stand strong on what I stand on. Because unlike others, I've done the work, been there, done that, built this. So can't nobody close me up. I don't work for no job. And I ain't never had to lie to kick it. I ain't never had to lie to get no money from nobody. That's the difference. So people don't like that confidence that you have when you carry yourself like that. When you have morals and integrity and character. And I am the descendant of Viola Louise Duval Stewart, the first African-American teacher to fight for equal pay in this country, who won her case in 1943. Thurgood Marshall and the NAACP reached out to my grandmother and asked could they represent her and be her attorney because she was standing on her own, baby. That's who I come from. Look just like her, actually. That's the bloodline that run through my veins around here. If my grandmother could speak up in 1943, when she could have been lynched, and other Black people in the neighborhood were walking across the street from her because she was going against the system, that's who I am. That's who I'm a representation of. That's my bloodline. I speak like this because I was taught to speak like this. I was taught to stand on business when you see injustices being done. When you see people in your community robbing their own people and thinking shit sweet. No, speak up on that. That's the cloth I was cut from. Big difference. Big difference. So anybody that feels some type of way, feel whatever you feeling. I really don't give a fuck. Because I'm not led or fed by no people. God always makes sure I'm good and provided for. Always. And like I said, I ain't never, ever had to stand on nothing and lie to nobody to get no money. Believe that. Back to me answering the questions. A lot of y'all let social media fool you. You don't even know who you dealing with. You don't even know people's character. You don't even know how many people done scam people that you sticking up and standing up for. Goofy. Taking shortcuts only cut yourself. I'm born and raised in the city. Definitely can relate. Common sense really ain't common, Dwayne. It really ain't. And that's what I learned. Like when the little girl got on my post talking about you glorifying people, why you happy about people losing their job. That's how I know you a weak-minded individual. Because I never got on here and ever said nothing about being happy. But I definitely got on here and said, y'all was talking shit when I warned you. And I'm going to repost the video. I'm going to pull the video back up and I'm going to repost that PPP video because it's a lot happening right now in the world of business. Okay? But that's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to stand on it and I'm going to address it if you got something extra to say to me. Because you don't have no right to say nothing to me and you don't know what the hell me and my business been through. My business went through warfare for speaking and trying to help other people. And them same niggas listen to them, and now them same niggas is calling me in my office asking for help. And that's who I was talking to when I made the post. So like I said, if you felt some type of way, that's on you because you did what you did. Don't be mad at me because you stuck looking stupid. Calling my office for help. Ain't nobody helping you. Can't nobody do nothing for you. You did what you did. Figure it out. I'm putting the finishing touches on everything, literally. I can't wait to link with you. Let's roll. I put my assistant put the link in the challenge for the cut. The challenge is one thing. I have an actual community called Solo the Squad, which is also trademarked. And that's for actual business owners. That's an ongoing monthly community, right? That's only $69 a month. The challenge that I have right now is called Lock the Fuck In Challenge. It's a 4-week challenge. Click the link and you can learn and read all about it. That's the difference with me. I'm not on here just talking. I have actual sales pages and websites that explain everything, what you're going to get. You can pay with Afterpay. You could pay with Klarna. You could pay with your credit or debit card. I'm a real business. I ain't accepting Zelle and Cash App. That's y'all other problem. Anybody that only takes Zelle and Cash App is not a real business. I said what I said. Anybody that only takes Zelle and Cash App is not a real business. I said what I said. You hustling. You don't want your income reported. That's fine. Then you're not a real business. You're hustling. We're going to start having y'all learn to teach and start speaking and saying who you are. You're not a business. Stop saying you in business when you hustling. Metador says, I got EIN, business account, and I understand credit. All I need is the structure and setup to run a business more efficient and effective. Yeah, structure and setup. We're going over the basics, but I'm not going to talk to you about your individual structure and setup. That's where you have to book an actual paid consultation for that type of stuff, right? So if you have everything set up, then you could book a paid consultation. I mean, I have clients all day that's ready to go, but you can't expect all that stuff to be taught on a class or a workshop. That don't even make sense. So if you ready for a real consultation, then you book a real consultation. Consultation, strategy, planning, it's all different type of stuff. It's not a one size fit all. So I have a basic, I think hour session, a business hour session to learn what you're trying to do. And then I see what your cost will be for me to actually structure your stuff out, depending on what you're trying to do. We have clients that make, multiple millions of dollars. So I'm not doing little bitty structures. So just know that I understand business strategy, tax strategy. And right now, with this big, beautiful bill that Trump and them just put out, a lot of business owners will see a lot of benefits if you get up out your feelings. So I'll be explaining the big, beautiful bill a lot on my YouTube channel in this next October. I'm doing a lot of content, breaking the bill down, breaking down what industries are going to get certain things. Like I'm just going to throw out there, if you in the music industry, you are artist, there is a section in the bill that talks about you all where you can write off almost everything that you're dealing with right now with those expenses, up to about 150,000. There's other things in there, right? So again, if you a business owner, get off of the emotional plane like the rest of the world in the country, right? People gonna be complaining for however long they're gonna be complaining. The president is who the fucking president is in office. We got the next 4 years with him unless they're gonna do something else. Other than that, complaining about him every single day, posting whatever you feeling in your feelings. Don't nobody give a fuck about none of that. Are you making some money? Are you setting it up? Are you setting up the game plan? Are you making sure you and your kids going to be able to eat and survive? Do you own property, land, real estate? Do you have a trust account? Like, let's start having conversations like that, right? Which is, again, why I don't deal with Facebook, because that's all you see all day. People that smart are planning right now. They're not in their feelings. That's why I said lock the fuck in challenge. That's why this is called the 4-week lock the F in challenge. If you ready to get out your feelings and learn some stuff, learn this system, learn and understand how you can be taking advantage of it too, because it's not just for the rich. That's why I like the tax code. The tax code is not just for the rich. The tax code is for any and anybody who understands it. That's what it's for. Same way with credit, Nicole, because I know you do credit. Right? Credit ain't just for white people. Credit, they have taken more advantage of it because, yeah, they're the ones that created the system, right? They also are the ones who showed their kids and families how to work this system. If the 4 white men got together, the 4 white men that y'all got on that mountain, whatever it's called, Mount Rushmore, them your 4 so-called founders, right? They also are the ones who helped create this tax code that we talking about because they were business owners. America was built on the backs of our people, and they set up businesses. They set up corporations, entities, trusts, life insurance, all of this. Y'all just think this random? No, it's a system. And it's not taught in the American education system. It's not taught in public schools, and it ain't taught in private either. That's why I named my community What School Won't Teach You. That's why you 40 and 50 on the internet arguing with me about some stuff because you don't know nothing. The American system failed you. But it didn't fail you. It was set up that way. It's set up to keep you like this. It's set up to keep you uninformed. It's set up to keep you thinking that you're supposed to go and get a 6-figure degree and not make a 6-figure job. How many of you have a 6-figure loan that you are paying for and you're not even making 6 figures? Think about that. Do that make sense? Do that make sense that some of you are still in your 40s making $40,000? That's not common. You have become complacent. You have become brainwashed to think that that's okay, to not speak up, to not ask for a raise, to not ask to be paid more money, to be told to do jobs that don't fall within your job description. That's why I knew I wouldn't last in corporate America, because I was speaking up and I was asking questions. And I stopped doing my job when they stopped paying me. But you think, oh, this job, this gonna make me, and this gonna, I got kids to feed. I got this. There is no such thing as job security. If they want to let you go on Monday, you gonna be let go, boo. So the smart thing would do is to learn the game, learn the laws, learn the American structure, and I'm teaching it. You're going to get a crash course in these next 4 weeks, and whatever you do is on you. But if your nervous system is tired of living in survival mode, if your nervous system is tired and you tired of going to that cubicle, or you don't have a real savings account, you don't got 6 months worth of savings, you don't have an emergency fund, if your car break down tomorrow and you about to cry because you don't get paid for another week, and it's about to be the first of the money, you got to pay rent and you got to pay them kids stuff. Yeah, I'm talking to you. It's time for change, because you don't have to be living like that. But you also got to be mentally ready to switch your mindset and quit arguing with me back and forth over shit you don't know what you talking about, because you in your feelings. Everything you have been taught is a lie. Point blank, period. Everything that is pushed to you on the TV, the internet, the media is pushed to you to keep you in an emotional state and mindset. You're not learning nothing. Especially on Facebook, y'all emotional all day, every day, because that's all they show you is this and that. Don't nobody show you no solutions. It's always problems and emotions. That's why I was done with y'all. Y'all draining on Facebook. Y'all have no emotional intelligence over there. At least YouTube got a little sense. It's definitely indoctrination. It is. It's conformity. It's conformity. It's a conforming mindset. It's called conformity in this country. And I'm a drop a video here on YouTube that I want y'all to listen to. I got to pull it up. I got to find it. My YouTubers, because y'all going to actually do it. I'm talking directly to y'all now. And of course, my private community, Nicole, and the rest of y'all in the group. I can only see Nicole's name. That's the only reason why I keep only saying Nicole. But we are in the private community. I'm on Zoom in the private community. Today was open. Tuesday will be open, but we go in the private community starting next week, where I will not be on live, letting the rest of you all in. Okay, let me go. Let me see. It might be under. I think I saved the video. It should be under my saved videos. Let me see. Motivation. And I can't play it because now they start tripping with you playing sounds and stuff in the background. So I do it on my Zoom. So in the Zoom, when we're in the private community, I start our sessions with some type of motivational sound. And normally in the beginning, I started with this video, and I shared the link with y'all. Nicole, I'll give you the link today because I didn't play it today, only because I went on the other platforms live, right? But the only reason that I did that, or only reason why I didn't do it today, was because of that, right? Because we're open. And whenever you go on Facebook or YouTube, they don't like you to play the sound in the background. You know, they call it whatever. They remember when all the music companies got mad at everybody putting the music on here. So now you got to say, I don't own the rights to this music, or you got to have verified music, all that stuff, right? It changed. So, but every day we start our sessions, I started with a motivational speaking video. All right. Again, we here to change your mindset. But I'm going to drop it in the, it's actually tagged Miss Boss. I don't know if you can see the pin at the top on my video right here. It's pinned in the comments. It says join the challenge. But my assistant could come on. I'll have her respond to you. Let me let her know. I need you to respond to the people on Facebook. Or we'll come back, but it shows it on mine, so I don't know if you can actually see it or not. Okay. But it's on there. We'll put it in there. It's a link for the challenge. And like I said, you can pay with Afterpay or Klarna if you need to make payments. I'll go ahead and repost it now because Catherine just told me she's on the call with somebody. So plstewart.club. And you know what's funny though is I have people ask me all the time, Patrice, how do you just go on there and just talk and be your natural self? This is how I know we so used to the fake and the phony. Y'all don't know how many times I have heard people ask me that, like, how do you just go on there and just do what you do? Because that's who I am. I ain't everybody. I ain't for everybody. And that's okay. And I know that too. Everybody ain't my customer. Everybody ain't my client. Everybody ain't my friend. Don't have many of those. Right? A lot of chosen people don't. A lot of awoken people don't. Right? We don't have a lot of people that like us, and we don't have a lot of people around us. And that's a good thing. A very good thing. A beautiful thing. Life got greater when I let a lot of people go. Let's be clear. And again, when you walking in your own confidence, in your own world, and you ain't lying and stealing and cheating and robbing from people, you'll see a lot of fake and the phony. How fake and phony this world is, baby. It's very few real ones. Very few. Very few. What the heck was his name? Because I don't have to listen to it as much as anymore like I used to. So I'll find it, y'all, and probably put it back on here once the replay come out, because I don't want to waste too much time trying to find the video. But I wanted to give you the name of it. I'll just look at the end. I'll finish going over the questions to make sure I went over everybody. Then I'll just look at it at the end. Okay, I think I went over every question. I don't see any more. Nicole, you cool? Anybody in the community? You all have any questions? You already in the community, so you like, I ain't got no questions, baby. I'm ready to get to it. I'm ready to get to this knowledge and this information. So those of you who are already here, thank you for investing in yourself as well as my business. But more importantly, investing in yourself, baby, because let's be clear. Let's be clear. I know this is well worth and below the paying field that I'm charging y'all to be here for these 4 weeks. But thank you. I know you ready, Nicole. I know you ready. Thank you, Matador. I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you. I love being me. I had to remember who I am. I almost lost myself for a little while, but my grandmother been back talking to me. I've been talking to the Most High. He been pouring into me, so I'm back. I'm definitely back. I go to office number right there. I'm on live, so y'all gonna have to wait, or Catherine and somebody have to call you back. Exactly, Jackie. Exactly, Jackie. And when you don't conform, look out. Exactly. 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 A lot of people think we just in our own world or crazy, but they the ones that stuck in the matrix, not us. When you not in the matrix, everybody think you crazy. You from the original cloth. That's why it's 144,000 chosen one. Dwayne, you get it. Tap in. I do use QuickBooks. There are several different platforms. I personally like QuickBooks though. So, some of my clients use other platforms. Everybody use what they like. I personally like QuickBooks, and I do use QuickBooks for my office as well. But I do know people that use other systems. So I always tell clients, do whatever work best for you, but it needs to definitely be a system. Y'all should not be having your stuff on an Excel sheet. You need an actual system. You need an actual bookkeeping system, record system. Look up QuickBooks. Look up companies that are similar to QuickBooks. Whenever you type in QuickBooks, Google will always give you similar companies at the bottom or on the side that are similar to them. All right. So yes, but I love QuickBooks. QuickBooks is owned by Intuit. Intuit has several different products, and they are very well. So $1 million companies use QuickBooks, right? To the mom and pop shop. So QuickBooks is very well, has a very well, a very good history. I'll say that, right? And they're able to grow with you. If you need a bookkeeper, you can hire a bookkeeper off of QuickBooks. They do cleanups, they do different things. So I like QuickBooks because um, they grow with you. That's what I like about QuickBooks. Some systems you have to change over time, but with QuickBooks, if you started making off $100 to $100,000 to $1 million to $100 million, QuickBooks can manage and maintain all of that. Right. And then they have different options for you as you grow. They have lending options. They have funding options. They have credit card services. Right. So that's why I like QuickBooks. And I try to tell clients to start there. But again, everybody business is different. And this is what I consistently say. If you've ever watched my live or content, business is not a one size fits all. And y'all have to get out of that mindset that it is. What works for you may not work for me. And that's okay. Right? And that's the whole also point of being in community. When you're with other people in different industries, you can hear and learn different things. Everybody business is different, especially, and the young lady, Miss Boss Baby, who just said IRS problem solver, you can attest to that, especially in different industries. Y'all have to understand business is built off by structure and industry. Okay? Trucking is different from financial services. Trucking and financial services is different from healthcare services. You get what I mean? It's so many different categories. So you cannot lump everything into one. And that is why I despise these bogus influences that y'all have decided to listen to and think is God, because these people are not saying that. They make it seem like, oh, whatever you in, just do this and do that. That's how you know you talking to somebody who don't know what they talking about. That should be a red flag for you. And I'm going to say this. People in financial services, real financial services, we don't use the word run the play. I hate that term. Run the play. Run the play. That's scammer talk. I'm going to say it right here and right now. Real, legitimate professionals in the financial, tax industry, banking industry, we don't say no run the play. Ain't nothing to be played with. This is not a game. Now, we all don't use the term game. The game is sold and not told. You may hear that. But anybody in this last 5 years that y'all be watching on this social media, that the first thing they say is run the play, run. All right? Because real financial services people, we don't talk like that. Because we know and understand this ain't no game. This ain't nothing to play with. When you on here putting your name on the line, your business on the line, your EIN number, your all of that. This ain't no fucking game. This ain't nothing to play in. This is not. And that is why you're in the position in the pot you in right now, listening to shit like that. No real business on them talk like that. We don't talk like that. That's why you in the position you in now. PPP. And it be these young ones, right? The 20s and the 30s. You know, they don't know shit. Wet behind the ears, thinking they know something, don't know shit. Out here stuck, stupid looking, goofy, talking about some you glorifying, you mad. But you was cool on here when you was getting that money. You was glorifying the fraud. But then when I stand on it and speak on it, now I'm glorifying that people getting hurt. Shut the fuck up. Get your weak-minded ass up off my post. Because it was all good just a year ago. You was glorifying the hell out of that. You was glorifying the scamming. Now I'm glorifying people getting let go. Shut up. No, it's called accountability. It's called a real professional stepped in the room once again. That's what it's called. Goofy. Anybody in their feelings about it, you either did it and you looking goofy and stupid and you just mad for what I'm saying, which is telling you the facts, or you just slow. Either one. It is what it is. Juan, don't call me Cardi B because I'm far from Cardi B. I ain't no Cardi B. I ain't with that ignorant ghetto ass shit she be doing neither. So I'm not Cardi B. I'm Patrice L. Stewart. Address me as Patrice L. Stewart. Thank you. I'm not no Cardi B. Cause what she doing, how she representing herself right now, I'm not with that. That's low class mentality and energy. That's not high class energy. That's not goddess energy. All right. So address me correctly. Girl, I hate it. I hate it. And that's why I'm back on the internet speaking again. I had to go and remove and handle my own business and mindset. And God had to pull back into me to fill my cup back up. Because I got drained with the nigga mindset. Hate it. Hate it. They don't know how to talk. And that's how you know. That's exactly how you know. If some of y'all are talking about how do you know when you messing with a scam, or how you know if you, I don't even know how y'all ask that question. But again, common sense ain't common today. That's just what it is. Common sense ain't common today. I'm also on my personal page and platform. Remember that. So when you come to my office and you pay me or you get on a phone call with me, then I'm not cursing and talking to you. So remember that. I'm on here for free. Ain't none of y'all paying me. So whatever you feel or think about me throwing an F-bomb or saying whatever I'm saying, again, I may not be for you. I'm not for everybody. But I'm also not about to change who I am. And I'm not about to switch my words up to make you feel some type of way. To make you fake feel some type of way. Because that's fake, falsing. It is what it is. The people who work with me know and understand this is who I am and how I'm talking. But best believe when we handling business, know and understand I don't have no problems with nobody with handling business. I wouldn't be here 12, 14 years still here if I did. Thank you, Juan. I understand you probably was, you probably new here and you probably just whatever, but I just really want you to know and understand, yeah, I ain't with that. And I like to be addressed who I am, right? I'm not nobody else. I'm Patrice L. Stewart. I'm not trying to be nobody else. Only person who I will say I'm trying to be is my mama or my grandmother, the women that represent me in my life. I'm not no type of celebrity, other person on this earth, don't want to be. Glad and proud of who I am. My name is Strong. My bloodline is strong. I come from Stewart bloodline, Duval bloodline, leaders bloodline, civil rights leaders' bloodline who changed something. Every teacher in America who is Black has a pay that they have because of my grandmother. Because my grandmother stood up and said, you ain't paying Black people in South Carolina enough money. Because teachers was making like 10 cents back then a week. So any educator in America, you and you Black, you have the pay, even though we know y'all are not paid the way you should be paid. But the salary that you got today, baby, is because she stood up on that. Because she ain't stand there and say it's all right. And she did it in 1943. Did you hear that? Over a decade ago. 1943. Oh, we ain't at a decade yet. What we in, 2025? So it would have to be 1925. All right, almost a decade. Okay. So know and understand my history. So when you hear me talk like this, bold, loud, as some people say, why she loud? Why she yelling? Because I'm passionate. Because I'm strong. Because I'm confident. I need you to hear me clearly on here. Okay? Big difference. Everybody ain't cut from this cloth. Right, and they be praising them. And that's why I don't care about them. That's why I do not care about the hood. I don't care about the hood mentality. Anybody that glorified, if you got a drug dealer boyfriend, uncle, niece, nephew, and you out here okay with him killing the community, fuck you too. All y'all, I'm done with the hood. It's so many Black people doing good things out here that never get pushed and represented because the media, because y'all, especially on Facebook, constantly glorify that goofy shit. Robbing, killing, stealing, fighting videos. People that do that, as soon as I see y'all sharing that, I immediately block and delete you off my timeline. I don't got time for that. If your timeline is full of negativity, gossip, mess, drama, you are not a part of my tribe. Don't even try to get into community unless you're ready to change your mind, because we don't deal with that type of energy. That's low vibrational, negative energy. Y'all women out here glorifying what Cardi B doing right now. Baby, I ain't with that shit. That shit is not cute. Popping and dancing, your pregnant belly, your areolas out, all that extra goofy shit. That's that hip hop. That's y'all. That's y'all generation. That's y'all that like that. I ain't even finna go there. Right? To each their own. But that ain't me. That's not my brand. That's not how we roll over here. I'm book smart and street smart. We use our brains, not our bodies. I had a daddy. I was raised by a man. My man was in my life. My daddy. That was my man. My daddy. My daddy raised me and taught me to have a brain, not to go out here and use your body. You're going to be smart. You're going to be educated. You're going to know something. Yeah, you live in Chicago with your mama, but every summer you going to come with me. My daddy was a professional. My daddy had his PhD degree in accounting. My daddy worked for Howard University, New York University, Florida A&M University. He worked with 2 Atlanta Falcon football players. My daddy was somebody. And he taught me to be somebody and to not use my body. So I'm not the average little girl that's walking around here that think her body means something. No. Beauty and brains, baby. Big difference. And a lot of females be hating on that alone. If you got to go sell your ass, then oh well, sorry, that was not my life. I ain't have to do that. Y'all love to glorify this bullshit. That shit is bullshit, and she looks very whack and weak doing that shit. Period. Next, it's horrible. And again, this is why I'm not limited to one thing. I'm not one-dimensional. Because I'm going to talk about the stuff that goes on in our community. I'm going to talk about how it's glorified, how it's ignorant, how it's ghetto. Yes, I'm going to say that. And I don't care who like it and who don't like it. Same way y'all have an opinion, I got one too. We all got one, right? Right. I know I dropped a few viewers off Facebook with that one because that's the whole Facebook clan right there. They love to pop they little cooch. and don't got nothing. $40 bras. Now, real women, we empower. Real women, we lifting. Real women, we walking around with clothes on. We not walking around with our asses out. Real grown women with some maturity about themselves. We know how to carry ourselves. I can curse like a sailor. But best believe when you see me outside, I have class. I know how to dress. I know how to talk. I know how to go from the hood to the boardroom. That's why my shirt say book smart, street smart. That's why my shirt says that. It's a difference. Everybody ain't got that. A lot of people one or the other. Girl, it needs to be said. And that's why I said these little girls today, you hating. You this, you just mad because you the only thing I have ever heard in my life is I'm fat. Can't nobody say nothing else about me. That's it. From men or women. That's the only jab that they can ever put on my feed is you fat. And somebody like it. Right? Like, come with something else, baby. And that's how I know, again, you a weak mindset. You ain't even got nothing because you don't got nothing. You can't say nothing else. You can't say nothing else. That's the first thing they love to go to is your weight. Baby, it ain't hurting me. You mad? You mad, huh? You mad about it. You mad because I don't need no Maybelline. You mad because I'm naturally pretty. You mad because I'm gifted and I'm smart. You mad. That's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You think Cardi care what I say? While she living in her million, as they love to say, she got money, she good, she in her $1 million house. Okay. You think she care what I'm on here talking about? Exactly. Everybody got an opinion. It is what it is. That's the only thing that has ever been said and could be said. Can't nobody say nothing else. Period. I'm from Oakland, California. Ain't nothing good happening around here. It's everywhere, baby. That's what I'm trying to say. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. This is a spiritual warfare that we are dealing with. Every community is dealing with this ignorant ghetto mindset mentality between men and women. Everybody is. Everybody is. State, Atlanta, Chicago, Houston, New York, Detroit, everywhere. That's how you know it's time for change. That's why chosen people like me have to get on this internet and have real conversations. Right? Because everybody's stuck in their feelings talking about a fucking president when at the end of the day, look at your backyard. Look at your neighborhood. Look at your community. Get off the federal level and take Trump out the shit and look at your neighborhood for the last 20 years. He don't got shit to do with none of that. But ain't nobody talking about that. Right? No, girl, you ain't tripping. You done reached the sister. You done reached the like-minded. We on the same frequency. Miss Boss, baby. We on the same frequency. These people is stupid and blinded. I'm sorry. I ain't even going to call them stupid. I'm sorry. Because my cousin told me to be nice. And she told me, God don't knock you down. He love on you. So I'm working on that. I'm working on that. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that. Again, accountability. I'm a grown ass woman. I can be accountable for my actions. I'm not gonna call you stupid for those that think that way. I'm just gonna say you have a lack of understanding. And when it is put in front of, because you are so used to social media and fake and phony, because some of y'all grew up in that age, right? I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 81. I'm 44 years old. So my generation, we were here. My generation went through the whole evolution of these last 25 years. We didn't start off with cell phones. MySpace was the first online community. Okay. We didn't have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, how y'all kids have that. So they have a whole, and I don't have kids. Let me also state that. Never been pregnant, don't have kids. Okay. Y'all generation of kids come from a fake place. Social media is a fake place. It's fake. People get on here every day and lie and live fake lives. They rent cars out, rent mansions out, do all it's fake. They pay, a lot of them pay for to collect your money. That's why I always show receipts. In my community, when y'all do this 4-week challenge, you will see receipts. You will see me logging into my actual accounts and showing you certain things. You will see documentation and proof and receipts. I've always put receipts out because I ain't got nothing to lie about. I'm standing on it and I'm showing it to you. Everybody can't do that. A lot of them can't do that. Screenshots of numbers, baby, that could be finagled. Everybody can make a screenshot. We in social media. It's called, you can make a screenshot. You can make $1 million sale. You can make $100,000 sale with a screenshot. Now, show that proof. Log in. Run that statement today in real time. Run it with today's date, Saturday, September 27th. Don't show me no clip that you took from somebody else shit. Run your report today. Who's standing on the same level with me when we do that? Run that report today. I challenge you. Whoever you following, ask them. Run that report today with today's date. Not no screenshot. Print it out. Big difference. Big difference, baby. Big difference. So y'all kids come from an illusional mindset, right? Everything is on the screen. I come from that cloth that we had to get out here. I got scrapes on the bottom of my knees, on both knees, because I was outside playing with boys. I was a tomboy. I'm just not really learning how to walk into my feminism at 44, because I have been strong and a female and a tomboy and I'm in a male dominated industry. So when I walk in the room, when I sit in the room with these white guys, because it's mostly white men in these tax rooms and tax classes, Miss Boss again can refer to that. We are in a male dominated industry. So as a Black woman and a female, I have to walk in like this. I have to walk in with my shoulders up and my head high, my back lean, because I know what I'm talking about. So I have to demand respect. So when you ask why I talk like this, that's why. I'm in a male-dominated industry for the last 21 years. Financial services is a very highly white male-dominated industry, which is another reason why I get on here and talk, because people who look like me can get intimidated by that. Banking terms, banking terminology, financial terms and terminology. So I may throw a F-bomb or a word or talk like I'm the cousin. Because again, I know how to go from the boardroom to the hood, to the barbecue. And I'm not going to allow anybody on this internet to disrespect that or downplay that. So this is what you see today. All right. So if that make you feel some type of way, check yourself, not me. Check yourself on why you feel that way. Am I hitting a nerve? Am I talking to you? Check yourself. Because sometimes that's what growth look like. That's what maturity look like. You're able to step back and check yourself. Why I feel some type of way how Patrice talking. She may be talking to me. I might be doing some of these things. Yeah. That's what real ones do. We recognize that. And then we work on that. We don't just say, well, that's how we are. No. When you need to work on yourself, you grow up. You grow and you go and you do that. Man or woman. You don't be 40 and just say, well, that's just how I am. And that's why you stuck where you at and not growing. Because you in a stuck mindset. Ain't no that's how I am. I grow every day. People who think they knew me 20 years ago don't know me. People who think they knew me 5 years ago don't know me. If you knew me last year, you don't know me. Because real growth happens on a regular. Life is continually growing. I learned as well. I don't know it all. I'm a student as well. I have a coach and a mentor as well in certain things. I have a real estate coach. I want to get into real estate. I have a coach. I'm in the developing cohort. I want to learn to develop. I have a developing coach who develops. That's what grown people do who are mature. We're not stuck in one place. We're not stuck in one way of thinking. And I far from ever don't go with the masses, because whatever the masses is doing, I don't want to do nothing that y'all doing. I've always been a leader. I've always stepped out on my own. I've always been an individual. I don't follow the masses. Anything the masses are doing, I'm completely away from it. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm independent. I know that there's no such thing as a political party that's going to do anything for you in this country. I'm not brainwashed like majority of you all are. I can have a conversation with either one. I don't get mad at the red people and I don't get mad at the blue people. I may get mad at what you say, but I can sit here and listen to you openly. Some of y'all can't do that. Some of y'all will cuss people out for how they feel. Everybody got the right to feel how they feel, vote for who they want to vote for, think how they want to think. I will hear you out. There's nothing wrong with hearing somebody out. You ain't got to agree with it. That's what's called emotional maturity and emotional intelligence. And a lot of you lack it. You lack emotional intelligence. You lack emotional maturity. You lack being able to listen without responding. Have you ever just sat and listened to somebody? And I'm going to give you an example. If your friend calls you and say, girl, oh man, I have had a real bad day. This is what happened at work. And the first thing in your mind is to say, oh girl, yeah, me too. I had a bad day. Stop doing that. You are not listening to your friend. You have automatically turned the conversation about yourself. A lot of people do it every single day and don't even realize that they're doing it. Now that you heard me say that, pay attention to that. Be intentional in your conversations with people when they're talking to you or trying to explain something. Even if you don't agree, shut up. Shut up. And hear them out fully and completely. Allow them to get their complete sentence out, to say what they need to say without you jumping in and bringing yourself into the equation. And watch how your conversations go. Watch how the conversation can now change and you can possibly have a dialogue and a flow. That's why I don't talk to everybody. This is my therapy time, right? When I get on here and I go into these little rants with y'all, I've been on here 2 hours. This is my therapy because I be having so much in my head and mind, and I have literally shut down from coming on the internet for the last year and a half. God had to replenish me. God had to fill me up. And some of you need that. Some of you as business owners, you need to hear that. There will be times, and even if you're not a business owner, because we all going through stuff. Y'all got kids' lives going on. Everybody maddening their feelings about certain things. Hey, right? So take a moment. Take a moment and think about what I'm saying. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you don't change how you're acting, how you're reacting, how you're doing things, how you're handling business, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. It changes with you when you make the first step, when you think, when you are about to make that statement and you're able to think and say, oh, Let me close my mouth real quick. Let me hear them out. Even if you mad and you don't want to hear it and you don't agree with it, cool, fine. We know you don't agree with it, but hear them out. And then you are able to respond. And not even necessarily respond. Don't always be in a reactive and respond state of mind. Listen to what they said. Think about it. Analyze it. And then you can have your response. And sometimes you may not have one. If you still don't agree, fine, it is what it is. But at least you let that person get that full, complete thought out without you interjecting and then without you bringing yourself into the equation. Because I see it all the time. If somebody make a post about their feeling, it's people on there like, yep, I did. I went through that too. Sometimes somebody just want to hear, I hear you. I'm sorry. I hope you're going through whatever, right? Everybody don't always need to hear your side of the story, that it happened to you, or you get what I mean? Now it'd be different if they ask the question, how many people has this happened to? But if somebody just made a random statement sharing with you how they are in their feelings, that's their feelings. And so now you're coming in and basically invalidating their feelings and bringing yourself into the equation. Don't do that. Work on that. Pay attention to that. All right. Dwayne, I'm loving your terminology. You are reminding me of my mother over here. My mother, I call her a little mini dictionary because every day of my life, she would always have $1 million word, as I call them. Right? She would always come home with $1 million word. So I would always say, okay, Ma, what's the $1 million word today? So you over here with some of these $1 million words, Dwayne Mayweather. And I just want to say, I respect that, brother. I like that. All right. Very educated. Okay. Pragmatic experiences. Yes. Yes. Right. You say Noelle Randall is your real estate guru. No problem. I see her on the internet. You say you also come from structured organization. Same here. Exactly. Jackie say, this is crazy. I just had this conversation before I got on your live. It's not crazy, sister. It's alignment. Because God had to show me and tell me, you're not here to save the hood. See, in the beginning, and I was mad and I was cussing and I was fussing and I was mad in another way. Like, I'm smiling. I'm still happy. I'm cracking jokes. In the beginning, I was on here like Stone Cold Steve Austin, like ready to fight. Because I was battling with negative energies and mindset and people who not on my frequency. Right. And that's when God had to take me off and allow certain things to happen. They shut me off TikTok from going live on my page because I was speaking too much and people was hating it and reporting it. Right. So I had basically been shut down. I've been off the internet basically since January of last year. Right. I haven't really been on like that. I had to go in a cocoon and I was a butterfly. Right. I had to go in and mush all down and then get rebuilt back up and come out as this beautiful goddess that I am, that I've been. But I allowed my energy to be so overwhelmed with the people who not on my frequency. And God had to tell me, everybody ain't your calling. I never said you got to save the whole Black community, because you can't. And that's what's wrong with the Black community. They want one savior. Malcolm did it. Martin Luther King do it. They want one person to do all the work for millions of people. And that's what's wrong with the Black community. No one want to get out here and do the real work on the front line. Everybody want to get on the internet and talk and run their mouth and not do shit. But they glorify the hell out of the scammers and the schemers and the drug dealers who killing them every day, right? Make it make sense. So I had to learn that's not my frequency. That's not my alignment. Them is not your people. We don't honor them niggas. That's the niggas. It's a whole lot of beautiful Black people on this earth that's doing something. That's who I call Black people. We don't call each other niggas. You get what I'm saying? It's a separation that needs to happen. And that's what's happening. We are coming together, the chosen ones, the aligned ones, the ones who want bigger and better. That's why you on this live today, because I wasn't even supposed to be on here. I'm supposed to be in my private community, but I decided to come on YouTube and Facebook because I said I'm going to open up the first 2 sessions for more people to get into the lock the fuck in challenge, right? So you hear Jackie because you were aligned and God put you on here to be watching me at this time frame. Everything that happens for a reason. All your video content that's coming around right now, if you in a abundance alignment, if you in a high frequency alignment, if you know that it's bigger for you, if you know that it's more to life than you just working, you gonna start seeing more content. Not even like me, but what I'm talking about. You get what I'm saying, Jackie? So all of this is alignment. That's where it is. You supposed to be right here. It ain't crazy. We say sometimes it's crazy. No, it's alignment. You in frequency. Welcome. Hello. So I'm about to get up off of here. You say, okay. I don't know why y'all comments just not coming in. That's from when I was talking about Cardi B. I'm just not seeing your stuff. Say, Dwayne, you understand it? Maybe because I didn't have it scrolling down. Dwayne say, I over understand every bit of it. Yeah, you know what it is. It is getting worse, but it's going to get better. It's going to be worse for them. A lot is about to fall. Babylon is about to fall, baby. Okay, so a lot is about to crash and burn. You got to be willing to know and understand what side you're going to be on. Right? You got to be willing to learn and understand what side you're going to be on. Where are you aligned? Where are you putting your time and energy at right now? Because if it ain't talking about building, if you stuck in the mindset of being ghetto and ignorant and glorifying all the hood shit, you going to be where you at. You going to be one of the ones that crash and burn. Just that simple. Run it. Okay, now I got it. Now it's telling me. Now I got it. Truth always causes disruptions. Always. And brings out the truth and who people are and why they can't handle the truth. Exactly, Jackie. Truth is the truth. And that's what I'm saying. For somebody to say you glorifying somebody losing their job. No, you just can't handle the truth. And that's what it is. Because you've been used to being lying and lying to yourself and lying to others. So however y'all live y'all fake and phony lives. That's what it is. So when you get a truth speaker in front of you, it's always, like you said, animosity, disruption. Right? So I'm getting ready to log off. I have work to do today. We have things to do today. It is Big, Beautiful Business Saturday. Those of you all who are a business owner, I hope that you are doing something for your business, posting your business, talking about your business, sharing your business, being confident in your business. And if you don't know how to or need help, then you can join the challenge. We will be in for the next 4 weeks. And I still also have the Solo to Squad community open as well. That is $69 a month. We meet every week. And that is an ongoing community for entrepreneurs, right? The Lock the FN challenge, we going over a little bit of personal, mental, finances, business. And then we also are going over why it's important for you to have and start a business if you don't have one. Why you want to have one, some ideas, right? How you get started. That's all a part of the challenge. You can click the link, read all about it. Again, you can do Afterpay and Klarna if you need to. And if you don't, then we will see you in the next video in live. I am into crypto, Jackie. I am into crypto, very much so, ma'am. Yes. That's the new age of the world. And people who are scared of it, they're going to be left behind because we are going to a cashless society. And people who aren't paying attention to that, again, they're going to be left behind, right? We are going to a cashless society. I just shared an article in my Facebook story. I post a lot in my stories on Facebook, more than I post on my Facebook, but I always post in my stories. But I just shared a story about who is it? it's an African country. It's an African country that created. I'm glad you asked that. Let me look into my stories real quick. I don't want to mispronounce who I shared. It's an African. But it's a story that I just shared about it in a nutshell of an African country app that's better than PayPal. Let's just say that. And that is how they've been doing business, right? Cashless, no money, no exchange of money. And it's just now being like really talked about. But it was an African country who did it and designed it and built it first, right? And that's what we have to remember. You have to remember and learn and understand your history and who you are. We are gods. We are kings and queens. We built this whole ecosystem. We are more than just 400 years of slavery. That was just a small section of our entire history and being. We are the original people. We are the land. We are the people of the land. Okay? Melanated people. There's nobody else who has DNA like yours on this planet. No other culture and race. The fact that you don't know who you are is what has allowed society to be the way it is. But slowly but surely, some of you are awakening. Some of you are coming into who your ancestors were, and far beyond the 400 years one. When you really start tapping in and go out in that sun and put your feet into the earth and go to the woods and learn some stuff about your natural self, your natural being, your bloodline, your whole attitude and energy will change. That is my tribe. That is my community. That is who I get on here for. I will cuss them niggas out, but I'm on here for you. Those that think and understand that. Those that are ready to reawaken who you are through your bloodline, not what society has taught you. That's my tribe. You all have a great Saturday and weekend. Anybody that's in the community, you all will get another email. We'll be back on Tuesday at 7. We're going to change it from 6:30 to 8 to 7 to 8:30 to allow more of you to get home and get on. I am on Central Standard Time, so our community is based off of my time zone in Chicago. Okay, but tap in, get into community. I'll put the link in here again. It should replay the chat because this time I made it to where the chat could replay for YouTube. And y'all can get into the challenge. This is the 4-week challenge. And then I'll also put the the Solo to Squad community, which is for entrepreneurs. This is the monthly community. Entrepreneurs monthly community. So you click the link and it tells you all the information. All right. Have a great day, Mayweather. Dwayne, I appreciate you. Jackie, I appreciate you for interacting, for commenting, for talking. Juan, Matador. I know some people left off a while ago. Orlando, but I just want to acknowledge my YouTubers because y'all are part of why I'm back on here. I really did miss my YouTube audience. You all are a different type of mindset. So I'm ready to get back on here with you. And for those who are ready to get into community, have a great day.